Hey guys, welcome to this acrylic asylum painting lesson. I'm Mike Ferris. I'm going to be getting started on this 11 by 14 inch hardboard canvas, and my image already laid out partway here with just the flowers and the separator horizon between the sky and the water area. So I'm going to have two different values mixed here, one for the sky that's different from the water for the base color. So on my palette, I'm going to have some phthalo blue, raw umber, and some permanent black. So on the sky up here, I'm just going to take a little bit of this raw umber, and I'm going to mix some black into this. And I'll just take this now and a little bit more black into that. And now with my 11 flat brush, I'm just going to take the edge, and this is nice to get around that flower very well. So I'm going to load this up and start with this value and just work everything in the upper half. Okay, so now I'm going to take some raw umber now again and some phthalo blue this time. So essentially this makes black, but it's more of a dark Payne's gray. And I'm just going to take my palette knife, stir it up a few times, and with my same brush, you can see how the value is just slightly different than the sky. And this is going to really set in nice and make it very natural to get that water look to it. And I'll just now go around everything on the bottom half with this. So now I've got some more of my image laid out, all but the leaves, and this is where my sunrise is going to be. And then I've got the water laid out with L's and D's to show lights and darks for values where I wanted them mapped out for all the different highlights and dark areas of the water. So now I'm going to have my number 8 natural round bristle brush, and these bristles here are perfect for blending and doing out of focus stuff, which will be in the background here. So on my palette, I've added some burnt umber, some cad orange, cad yellow, and now titanium white. So I'm going to mix up this sort of dull orangey color, and it's going to be some cad orange, of course, a little bit of yellow to warm it up and make it a little bit more vibrant. And then from there, I want to dull it just a little bit with some of that burnt umber to it. And with that, I'm just going to make sort of this glow that's kind of happening where the sunrise is going to be happening here. And this is just very light paint, a very dry brush, and just scrubbing it on. As you saw, they're very lightly. So now I'm just going to get some cad yellow and a little bit more cad orange together with that burnt umber and tapping a lot of that paint off the brush. You can see just a teeny bit at a time. And with that, and being a dry brush again, you can see how it blends really well and makes those really fuzzy lines. And just this is just really the start of building the glow for the sunrise or the sunset, whichever. So now I'm going to pick up some more cad orange and cad yellow. And again, just a touch of this burnt umber and tapping a lot of that paint off. And now just a teeny bit of white. I want to bring this up and make this lighter now. And again, just a little bit of paint on the brush and maybe just a little bit more white to whiten it, or to brighten it up. And I can turn the brush and do kind of something like this, and this will really give me a nice round, more of a perfect circle and not so oblong, and I can work with this and just sort of brush those out. So whatever brush you're comfortable with, this can be done with a small flat brush also, or like I said, these natural round bristle brushes are perfect for doing this effect and doing all of these things. So, okay, now I'm going to take some cad yellow and a little bit of cad orange. And right in here, I just want to start building this bright glow that's kind of fading off and sort of bring that up into that more faded orange that I started off with. And in this way, I'm subtly building something that's going to really glow and shine super bright out of this. And I always find that putting the darker values first is what surrounds that titanium white for later and really pops it out of there and makes something super bright and so glorious that way. So I just want to start with that. Okay, so as you saw there, just a little bit of cad yellow and mixed a little bit with that burnt umber and a little titanium white and a small amount of orange still left on the brush. And I'm just blocking in more or less these colors and doing these circular motions to get these sun rays and these bokeh light kisses sort of happening in the background here. Okay, so just mixing up those 3 colors again, little yellow, orange, burnt umber, now some white to that. And I went a little bit brighter. And with more white, it makes it more opaque this way and also allows me to fill in the canvas a little bit better and get it ready for titanium white to really pop out of this glow that I'm building here. So I just want to fuzz this out as paint runs off this brush. These natural bristles really make it possible to blend it very smoothly and give that out of focus look very well. Okay, so again, more orange, more brown, and down here, and just filling some more stuff in, and I'll drag that up into that brighter yellow and just sort of blend those together. Okay, a little bit more yellow and some more brown now, and just filling in more as well around this area. Okay, without cleaning, again, now just taking some burnt umber and a little cad yellow. That just really warms up this brown. And over here, I just want to get this base color, and I want to fade that up into that dark value of the background here on both sides, okay? And now I want to take some raw umber without cleaning. And as you can see, the brown where it meets the black and just I always mix these browns up. Raw umber. I can really get a nice soft blend there and a transition into that darker value with that. So now I'm just mixing up both browns again. And again, just want to sort of blend this up and dust it and make this more blended, and that gives more of a bokeh out of focus look this way in the background when I do it this way. Okay, so that same value, and as you saw, more titanium white and some more yellow there, and that gives me this bright glow. And again, those natural bristles, look at how they just fade that down into that darker value, blending it super nice this way. And you don't even have to really be all that good at blending. And I'm telling you, with these brushes and acrylics, anybody can blend with these brushes. They're like magic, and it's kind of like a machine. It kind of does it for you. But yeah, nothing to it, just dusting it up, like I said. And this really gives that sunrise or sunset kind of streaking across the horizon there. Okay, so now more titanium white and some cad yellow into that. And I want to go back up here and fill some more stuff in. Okay, no cleaning again, just taking more cad orange and a little bit of burnt umber into that. And a little bit of yellow to warm that again. So just playing these three values around. I want it more to the orange side, as you see here. And just, again, very little paint on the brush and these natural bristles just allowing me to go around that yellow glow and put that orange and just sort of set that glow off super well this way. Look at how that just blends in and gives that out of focus look already. And I'm telling you, it's like automatic. It just allows me to just do this super well. Okay, so let's get some more burnt umber now. I just want to tap. Again, very little paint on the brush, and on the very outside of that orangey color, I want to blend just the outsides of it and kind of up a little bit. And again, this just gives that glow a very natural fading kind of a look to it this way. Okay, now picking up some more cad yellow, and this time some more titanium white. And I'm not going to worry about loading a little bit of paint. I'm a little bit more liberal this time, as you see here, more paint. And I want to start getting more opaque and start building this really bright shine coming out of this glow that I just built. And just doing, again, a circular motion. This is my number 8 natural round bristle brush. And you can, again, use any brush that you're comfortable with. I find these brushes, like I said, to be the best for this effect. And now just picking up some more orange into that yellow, a little bit more brown, and again, just want to come over here and just kind of give these circular things and play these values around. Okay, after some orange tones there, I'm going to take some more cad yellow and titanium white again. And once again, I'm going to go back into the center area and start putting down another layer here. So again, in the acrylic world, another layer means more vibrant colors. It means the effect, whether it's bokeh or something that you're trying to make shiny or whatever it is, has more of a dramatic effect and makes everything that much better each time. So going back again, and this time again, I'm going to get some titanium white and into that dull orangey color that I made earlier. And just in some of these areas, I want to show some overlapping sort of bokeh sun rays in the background here. It just adds some interest and makes them pop a little bit. So kind of put these wherever. There's no right or wrong. Cover something if you don't like it with a different value, and it's all good. Anything goes, just go for it. Okay, cleaning off my number 2 flat brush and reloading it now with just titanium white this time. And just a teeny bit of cad yellow in there, but mostly white. And where I want it the heaviest and the brightest, I'm going to start there. And I'm going to drag out the paint, just using very little pressure on the brush. I'm just sort of feathering it out, and I'm not really bending the bristles. And of course, the harder I push, the more paint that I'll lay down, the more opaque it'll be. So as I drag it out, I'm using less pressure, and as you can see, it sort of fades out and really gives this nice misty glow of a sunshine or sunset here very well this way. Okay, and once again, I'm going to take some cad yellow now, and I want to build up another layer on top of that glow stuff that I already made and encamp that titanium white. So just a little bit of burnt umber and a lot of yellow and a little titanium white, and I really just want to enhance this glow and sort of, like I said, encamp this titanium white with another layer of this stuff. Now without cleaning, taking more cad orange, and I want to dull that again with some of this burnt umber. And let's get a little titanium white to bring that up, and now some cad yellow to warm that a bit. So again, just looking for that light orangey peachy color here that's dulled just a little bit. And right where the yellow meets those other values, I just want to glaze this over, and again, this just enhances that glow and that shine. Okay, again, more titanium white, and where I want it the brightest and the heaviest again. And as I get outside, I don't want to cover up all that orange and those yellow tones. I want to fade that white into it and just sort of have it glaze over, but have those other colors popping through it. And this really takes that bokeh and also the sun ray and that shine and glow to a whole nother level. Okay, more titanium white and some burnt umber, and I want to go in the center of this faded color that I put. And I want it in the middle where it's heaviest and brightest, and then as paint again runs off the brush, I'm going to dust it down towards the bottom as well as up top into that more faded color. Okay, some more of that orangey tone there, and I want to go one more time around some more of that yellow, and check out as I put just a little bit of it around some of that, how it just enhances that glow and that shine super well, and it really just makes it just glow and gives it that golden tone super well this way. Okay, picking up more titanium white and back to my number 8 natural round bristle brush, and again just going back into some of these bokeh areas here. And you can pretty much put these wherever, and I'm just sort of fading those out and, You can see it's got a little cad yellow in there. It's not completely white. So, okay, so now I'm going to take some phthalo blue now and some raw umber. And again, that makes my water background base color here, which is, again, that dark Payne's gray. So just going to mix this up. And with this, I want to add titanium white now to it. And this is going to be some water block-in colors here. So basically a couple of general values. I'm going to add some white again to this dark Payne's gray. And I want just a little bit more blue in it for the highlight areas where I've got it mapped out from the traceable image where the L is versus the D to get all of the water places where they go with all the highlights and stuff. So about this tone here. And again, with my number 8 natural round bristle brush, I'm just going to go into that. And as you can see here, I've got it mapped out again. And I'm just going to go down and basically just block all this in with these general values. And of course, where the D for dark is, I'm not going to put anything. I'm just going to leave that as it's already filled in here, as you can see. And just kind of bring this, and I kind of want to dust this up into some of this glow up here just to show that the sun rays are hitting the water and just kind of fading off. And again, I want fuzzy lines and I want blended stuff to give it that out of focus look. Okay, so now I'm going to take this dark value, and again, my number 8 natural round bristle brush. And as you see, this is a hard line here, and I want to make this out of focus. So these brushes right here, and just a little bit of paint and it very dry, I'm just going to brush that over where the hard line is. And right on top of it, I can totally blend this and get rid of that line. And now as you can see, it looks more like it's out of focus this way instead of something that's going to be in detail. So as I'm doing this, in these light areas, I can also add some of these dark areas, and this is the start of adding texture and all of the different water ripples this way. So again, I'm just going to fuzz this out with these natural bristles as I put those details in. And of course, as always, that makes that out of focus effect, and it really makes this picture pop. So now with my number 11 flat brush, I'm going to go down here now because I've got the edge, and it's going to give me hard lines. And this is what's going to contrast against those bokeh out of focus ones. And so now I'm just loading up that dark value. You can see a very nice crisp edge there when I load it. And if you don't have a nice flat brush, I recommend using an angle brush. That works super well to get into places. And for me, I'm just going to use the corner and the edge of the brush, and I can really put these water details in just like so. So as you can see with the corner and the edge, I can make these little lines here very well. And right in this area, this is going to be sort of some movement and kind of a creek sort of flowing water effect here with these extra lines here kind of bunched up like this. And of course, again, you can do this any way you want. And if there's something that you don't like, a line that's out of whack, again, just take that that lighter value or darker wherever you're at and just cover back anything, define something however it should be. Okay, now I have my number 6 flat brush. I'm going to use that now to do some highlights on the water. So I'm going to take that same light Payne's gray color and I'm going to add some titanium white to that. And I'm just going to go very here and there, but not everywhere. And this is going to really sparkle up the water and give it definition and some body and really start to build up the glimmer and the shine. Okay, just going to pick up some more titanium white for some brighter stuff. And right here where I wanted more movement in the water here, I'm just going to add some brighter highlights. Okay, now I have another number 6 nylon flat brush with the bristles kind of frayed out. It's perfect for doing bokeh lights here that I'm going to start putting on the water here and there. So what I'm going to do now is add to my palette this portrait pink. And if you don't have portrait pink, you can always mix up a little red and white and just a teeny touch of this raw umber to dull it down. And you'll pretty much have what's called portrait pink as you see here. So I'm just going to take some of that and I'm going to further dull it with some more raw umber, not much, just a little bit. And to that, I want to add now some titanium white to desaturate as well as brighten that color up. So something like this, I kind of want to have it next to that portrait pink there to sort of bring some of that in if it's kind of missing too much. I don't want it completely white. I want some of that pink hue in there. And just a little bit of paint on the brush. And right here, I can just turn my brush as you see here. And it makes a really nice circle. And I can just use that pretty much to fill in. And it pretty much keeps my circle alive and intact without being oval or too out of whack or oblong. So if I tap like this, I can get some of the paint off it while it's still wet. And I can give this transparent look as you see here. So that's a good way to get that to show up that way. Another way is to use matte medium if you don't want to use this method, and matte medium will make your colors transparent as well. I find it's kind of messy, so I found some other methods that help me to make stuff transparent, like loading the brush just a little bit, tapping it like this, and you really can make it transparent, especially against a dark background like this. And so again, very little paint on the brush and just turning it. And again, I can just sort of use this shape to fill in the rest of it and pretty much have where I need my circle to be in this way. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to take now some cad yellow and a little bit of cad orange to that. And to that, a little bit of this portrait pink into that. And now I just want to get a little bit of just burnt umber. And that will just dull this down just a little bit more. But I want to have that orangey sort of peachy cream color in there, and that portrait pink really helps along with that yellow into that orange. Okay, so something like that. Again, a little bit of paint on the brush, and I just want to do these circular motions here with my brush. and just play this value around just here and there, but not everywhere. And with the value left on the brush, I just want to come over here and just give a few bokeh lights on the water hitting here from the sun as well. Okay, now going back into some of this portrait pink. And to that, I want to add some cad yellow and cad orange to that and dull that just a little bit with some burnt umber. And I'm thinking something about this tone, and I want to hit some of the water highlights with this as well. Okay, back to my number 2 nylon flat brush with the heads or the bristles all kind of frayed out. I'm going to take some more yellow and mostly titanium white. And again, where I want it the heaviest and brightest, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to just brighten some stuff up and really pop out this glow shine. So as you can see, adding more titanium white and getting some of these bokeh light kisses from the sun on the water a little bit more opaque. And in this way, it adds more variety, ramps up the bokeh out of focus effect that much more. And it really just makes that bright shine and glow pop that much more, as you can see here with this. All right, now just getting some more titanium white and again, just going on some really bright highlight areas and being more specific in certain areas. So I don't know, we got like 3 little dots here from the sun hitting the water a certain way. And you can really do this again, however, put them wherever you want in random places. This is your painting, or follow me to a T. Alright, I flipped my image back over as I left it taped on my canvas, and I traced out the leaves with white wax transfer paper, as you can see here. And again, this image is available down in Patreon if you'd like the drawing process help and layout for this. And now I'm just going to take some cad yellow and some raw umber to that. And this really is just to make a base color for the leaves for now. It's this dark army green, as you'll see here. And I'm just going to do something about this tone. And now I'm going to grab my number 4 flat brush here, and I'll just start loading this up and filling in for the leaves with this. Okay, so I'm just going to drag some of that value that's left on the brush in sort of a zigzag motion for the reflection of it. Okay, without cleaning, I'm just going to take some cad yellow and some white now. And of course, this is going to be some change of value for highlight stuff. And I'm just going to place it here and there, but not everywhere. And when I do, not cover up all that base color there. And it brings texture and shows highlight from the sun hitting the leaves and all of that. So again, if you don't like something, take a value, cover it up, and just kind of place these in random ways. And for the effect, I would say keep the highlights more towards the top of the leaves. And of course, it gets darker as it comes down into the shadowed areas a little bit more, and that brings out more realistic and pop and shine in that kind of a way. Okay, so just getting again that raw umber and yellow mixture there, a little bit of white into that. And again, I just want to go back over some of this. Okay, I'm going to go into that dark base color again with the water and just load the brush and a little bit more blue into it actually. And right here on these 2 leaves here, it's going to show a little bit different value as it's more in the shadow area with the way that it's turned towards us on the back here. And so just a little bit of variety and just adds a little bit more realism. So with that dark value, I want to add a little bit on the bottom around the base of the flower there. And then also the other leaf here, I'll block in with this. Okay, no cleaning. I'm going to pick up some more titanium white now and take this very light value. And I just want to kiss just the tip of the leaves here. It just shows the sun kind of hitting it on the edge there. Again, it really brings the definition and shows kind of the shape with the highlight stuff here in the shadow. Okay, now I'm going to block in our flowers now. So I'm going to take a general value here of cad yellow. And to that, just a teeny bit of cad orange, not much at all. It's really just to kind of knock back the yellow just a little bit, but keeping its vibrance alive. Okay, now adding some white to that. And I'm thinking something about like this, and with this general value, I'll go ahead and block in with my number 11 flat brush. Okay, I've added some permanent red now to my palette, and I'm going to take just a little bit of this cad orange now, and a little tiny bit of the permanent red to that. And now just a little bit of burnt umber to dull that down, along with some more cad orange. So something kind of a light, peachy, kind of warm tone in a way. It's a little bit different than what I used in my sunset or sunrise there. Okay, a little bit of titanium white into that. So something about this value, and I have my number 2 nylon flat brush, and so with the edge, I'm just going to streak down these different lines here and just kind of do sort of a triangular pattern. And as I bring it down, I want to follow the curvature of the flower petals, and in this way it's going to start to build the dimension and all of the texture and everything in its beautiful array. Okay, now I'm going to pick up some burnt umber now and a little cad yellow that just warms up the brown. So with that, a little bit of titanium white to bring that up a bit. Okay, so something about this tone, I'm just going to go in here and start placing all these random little shapes in here that are triangular, and it's kind of this shadow stuff that's kind of shown behind the flower as the sun hits it, and perhaps these are like some leaves that you can sort of see kind of behind it as the bright sun glow will allow me to do that through that. Okay, so just kind of in this way and making all these really nice things. Okay, without cleaning, a little bit more burnt umber into that to darken this value. And right here, a very specific shadow. It's kind of maybe something like that. Okay, I know it seems kind of strange, but this will make sense later. So let's go with some more cad orange now. And some of that brown, that same value. And again, just making these shapes. All right, I'm going to go into some of that permanent red now and mix it with some of this raw umber to make this very dull, very kind of a dark maroon color here. And in the center here, let's hit that and block that in. Okay, now going back into more permanent red now, and I'm going to get some cad orange into that to sort of give this reddish orangey tone here. Okay, and just with the edge of the flat brush, I'm just going to come up like most of the way up, but not all the way up, and just sort of randomly kind of make these little things here. And again, if you don't like something, take a value and cover it up. Although I will say with this yellow, it is going to take a few coats to cover up that darker red and pretty much any other color, as it's your most transparent color in the acrylic world. So I would say try to make sure that when you put your lines in, make sure that that's exactly where you want them to be and how you want them to be. And of course you can cover it up, but it just will take a few more coats on the yellow to do so. So again, with that color and the rest of it on my brush, I'm just going to lightly dust over the tips here and just go around the whole flower on both of them like so. Okay, now taking some burnt umber now, and without cleaning, and I wanted to go up here and just hit just the top of this shape here that I kind of thickened here with that reddish orange color here. And I don't want to take it all the way down. I just kind of want to dust it down and sort of just kind of blend that down into it. I can even use my finger there a little bit. Okay, and just kind of on the bottom, as you see there, sort of streaked it down and up out of that dark area. That just brings more texture and dimension this way to the flower. Okay, and so now I'm going to take some cad orange and cad yellow, find a place on this full palette here to mix that, and now some titanium white to brighten that a bit, a little bit more yellow to warm that. Okay, and so something about this tone, and down here, just a little bit of paint on the brush. I just want to glaze over and give this orangey tone and sort of fade it up into that yellow. Okay, so up here I did something with that same red and that raw umber to get that dark maroon color with my number 3 nylon round brush. And my camera died, so I apologize, but I'll show you on the second flower what I did when I get to it. So just going to take now some more permanent red and some orange. And something about thinking about this tone here. And I want to start on this flower and start making these little things like so. Okay, after the red streak lines there, I'm going to take some burnt umber now and some cad orange and titanium white. And I'm going to go for that more dull sort of color with the brown, orange, and yellow there to warm that up a bit. And as you can see right here, just going to go around and start making some of these other shapes like so. Okay, now I'm going to go into some cad orange now, and to that mix in some permanent red to it. And I'm looking for an orangey reddish color, but more to the orange side here. So I'm actually going to get more cad yellow now to warm that and to get it more on the orange side there. Okay, and very little paint on the brush, and I just want to, again, glaze over from the bottom out and just kind of dust it up into that yellow value. Okay, going into more permanent red now, and just a little bit of cad orange into that. And again, some yellow to warm that up. I want it more to the red side though, and just a little bit of paint on the brush. And I want to go in the very center on both flowers and just sort of get the center and really pop a glow out of that as the sun's hitting it. It really just turns it up this way. Okay, so now with a clean brush, I just want to take some titanium white and just a little bit of cad yellow. So I want this really bright yellow for highlights here to show the sun really shining through on some of the petals here. So I just want to do just some of the tops of some of them. Okay, and now just a little bit more cad yellow now. And let's get just a teeny bit of orange to that. And right in here, I can sort of bring that down and sort of dust it down into that red. And also in this way, I can clean up some of the lines and pop some of the detail out this way. Okay, just going to get a little bit of cad orange now and just a teeny bit of paint on the brush. And I just want to scratch in and glaze just the tips of the flower petals like so. Okay, so now I'm going to do what I did up there on this petal, or sorry, on that flower there. I'm just going to use my number 3 nylon round brush here. I'm going to take, again, that permanent red and raw umber, pulling it through as I turn it to a nice point. And right here, the harder I push, the fatter the line. So I'm just going to go sort of midway, and in this way I can easily create these little doodads here on the flowers well with this brush like so. Okay, so now just a teeny bit of titanium white. I really want to sparkle up just some of the petals to show where the light is hitting the strongest like this. Okay, back to my number 3 nylon round brush. I'm going to start making some water drops off the petals here. So I'm going to take some burnt umber now and some titanium white and just a little bit of yellow, and that just warms it a bit. And right here, just the very tip of this number 3 nylon round brush, I can make these really nice little water drops like this. So wherever you want to put these, it's all good. It's just random water drops, and of course, anything you don't like, this is a super light value, easy to wipe off or cover up. So I'll even do some on some of the grass like this, or the leaves. Okay, so with a clean brush now, I'm just going to take pure titanium white, pull it through to a point, and I just want to hit the very outside. And this really shows the sparkle of the water drops like this. So you can see it really sets those off. So just going to go around and just kind of hit all these like this. Okay, now I have my number 4 flat brush, and I'm going to take now some of this portrait pink, and I'm going to dull that with some raw umber just a bit. And to that, I'm going to take some titanium white, and I want to add a little glow to it. So I'm going to take just a little bit of this cad orange to it. Not much. You have to be careful with the orange. It will take over the entire mix of color if you're not careful. So just one thing about that color to be aware of. So with the edge of the brush now, I'm just going to go in here with some very fine sort of line stuff here and sort of meander it and squiggle it around. So kind of do this however, and see what you like, and of course cover anything you don't like with that dark value. Okay, let's go into some cad orange, and to that, let's dull it just a little bit with some burnt umber. And I also want to add a little bit of portrait pink to that. So something about this tone, and right here, I just want to squiggle back and forth as I fill it in like so. Okay, no cleaning. I'm just going to pick up some permanent red now. Just kind of get some orange into it just a bit. Okay, and just a little bit of this value, I just want to scratch some of this in. Okay, with just a little titanium white here. Not much, I just kind of want to scratch in these extra bright little streaks of highlight here. Okay, with the script liner brush, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to sign this piece right here. And I want to thank you guys so much for following along and all your support. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. And let me know how this went for you. I know this was a little bit involved. There was some image transferring that was done in steps. And this was just to make it cleaner and neater so that I didn't have to go back and try to figure out where I was with things getting covered up. So totally give this one a shot. Let me hear your comments and questions down below. And until next time, happy painting, everyone.